Well, Maddie, do you want to get started?
Sure.
Okay, great. Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. And I also want to just let folks know that this is being recorded. So we will be sending this out as a follow-up to this webinar so that others can take a listen and kind of get the same experience that this webinar will provide. So I'm Sarah Devlin. I'm the Executive Director at BACS, which is the Bangor Area Comprehensive Transportation System. BACS is a nonprofit organization focused on transportation planning and programming in the Penobscot County region. We work closely with Maine DOT to provide technical assistance and also to act as a conduit to the communities in Penobscot County to the Maine DOT to take advantage of some of the partnerships that we're going to be discussing today. So today with me, we have Jared Gillette from Maine DOT. Jared, do you just want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Jared Gillette, Jared Farn Gillette. I'm the Region 4 and 5 Transportation Planner with Maine DOT. So I cover half of the state of Maine, but probably 1/3 of the population. I've got Penobscot, Piscataquis, Hancock, Washington, and Aroostook counties. And so I'm the transportation planner for those regions and also the tribal liaison.
And also with us today from BACS is Maddie Jensen. She's the planner here at BACS. She's really the lead on the rural contract that we have with Maine DOT. So she'll be working with a lot of the communities. So Maddie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Maddie Jensen. As Sarah said, I'm the planner here with BACS. I just started in December. And I'm not only new to BACS, but I'm also new to the great state of Maine. I was born and raised in Iowa. So I'm really excited to be getting to know everyone.
So I think Maddie is going to lead us through a presentation about the services that we can offer to you through our Maine DOT contract. And I just want to preface that these services are of no cost to the municipalities. They are what we're required to do, part of the contract. So just keep that in mind too.
Okay, so I have the presentation up. Can everyone see that okay? All right, awesome. So today we would like to go through some of the major funding sources that are currently circulating, as well as the ways that BACS can assist communities in the county through the Maine DOT rural contract. So firstly, what is the Maine DOT rural contract? The goal of the contract is to ensure that all communities within Maine are able to access the resources and opportunities related to transportation and Maine DOT services. So BACS has been awarded a contract to support municipalities within Penobscot County with any technical or planning related transportation tasks. Any tasks that are eligible under this contract do not require any sort of local match or financial contribution from communities, as Sarah just said. There is a huge range of activities that are supported under this contract, but today I wanted to highlight a few of the more common activities that BACS assists with. Firstly, grant identification and writing assistance. We work to stay up to date with the current grant opportunities so that we can notify you of the funding sources that may match projects you are working on. And we also work to become knowledgeable about the application process and the requirements so that we can be a resource to you if you choose to apply. And this includes helping you write the actual application if necessary. Another service we can provide is helping with the transportation sections of your comprehensive plans. And again, at no cost to you, that portion of the plan can be partially or completely outsourced to us. So whether you are completing it internally and would like to save yourself some time, or if you're contracting the plan out and would like to reduce the consultant scope by having us complete that portion of the plan for free. Another area that BACS can assist with is data collection, and this could go hand in hand with the comprehensive plan update, or it can be a separate project that collects any sort of information that you need to effectively assess and plan your transportation infrastructure. And we've done tons of different types of data collection. We've done speed studies, traffic movement counts, origin destination studies, trends analysis. And if we don't have the resources to collect the data that you need, we can also connect you to those that can. And this brings me to one final area that I'll highlight today, which is how we can act as a liaison between your municipality and Maine DOT, or really any transportation agency. So if you have a question or a project idea, we can connect you with the staff member that you need, or we can coordinate with them directly to work through any problems that you have or obtain any of the resources that you need. We can also help at any stage of a project with just about anything that is transportation related. So all you need to do is reach out to us and we can hash out the details together, whether that's just identifying funding sources or figuring out who needs to be involved for approvals. This slide also outlines a few tools and programs that BACS has access to. And these are typically pretty good resources for collecting or visualizing data. All right, so now that we've gone through a few of the ways that BACS can assist with transportation projects, we like to get into the world of funding sources and outline a few of the major programs that are circulating right now.
And I just wanted to just briefly cover the difference between grants and congressionally designated spending, which is also known as earmarks. So there's a lot of opportunity with the new IIJA bill that just came out from Congress, and grants are really an executive branch process with established rules and guidelines and eligibility. Congress established the guidelines and eligibility. It is competitive and they are scored by a federal agency. So we typically work with Maine DOT, or I'm sorry, US DOT for our grants. And then the earmarks, or the congressionally designated spending, that is a legislative process. Congressional members can submit requests. It's normally based on seniority. It works through appropriation bills, and there's a lot of negotiations and kind of politics that happen through the legislative appropriation process. With both of these opportunities, we highly recommend that there is coordination with Maine DOT to let them know about what opportunities we'd like to take advantage of or apply for, and really get some approval and coordination happening with Maine DOT. I think Maddie's going to go through some other opportunities.
All right, thanks, Sarah. So next we'll get into some specific programs that we wanted to highlight. First, the Maine DOT Bikeped Funding program, which is geared towards projects that improve safety and expand facilities for pedestrians and bicyclists. A few project ideas include sidewalk extensions, trails that could better connect students to after-school programs, or crossing infrastructure in a high traffic area of town. The application is accepted throughout the year, with each year's round ending on July 15th. Projects then go through a scoring process and then through approvals within the Maine DOT STIP. And awarded projects typically receive funding in the summer of the next year. One important aspect of applying for this funding that I really want to highlight is taking the time to look through the scoring criteria that they've provided. This document is very detailed and outlines exactly what information the scoring committee is looking for. Patrick Adams is the Maine DOT staff member that leads this program, and BACS has spoken with him extensively about how we can best support communities to prepare successful applications. So again, please reach out if you are considering applying. Next, we have Jared, who's going to go through the partnership initiatives.
Good morning. So the Maine DOT recently, and this is going to sound kind of funny, we're kind of designing the car as we drive it, but we have a relatively new program, which is our community-based initiatives. And The philosophy behind this program is looking at the transportation infrastructure and how the link between transportation infrastructure and Maine's, historic downtowns, village centers and, community sort of focal areas are, an important relationship for economic development. And I think right now we have a very popular program, which is called the Village Partnership Initiative. And this program is really intended to work with municipalities that would like to re-envision and reinvigorate their historic downtown or business center. And so the Village Partnership Initiative, or the VPI, this can be split into two sub-programs. One is called the SPOT VPI. And for this, we're looking at, small, very site-specific treatments, maybe a missing link of sidewalk, an RRFB plus pedestrian crossings and ADA treatments, as well as, working with signage and gateway treatments, marking the beginning and the end of your town. There is, the maximum cost goes up to $500,000, and the program, is based on municipal valuation. And so it's either 70-30 for up to $150 million, over $150 million to 250, it's 60-40, and then it goes to 80-20. But the large transformative VPI, and this is for projects that range for $5 million up to 35, maybe even 40 million. This is when we're looking at a complete redesign of a downtown or a village center and looking at the infrastructure, whether it's the roads, the sidewalks, the pedestrian crossings, a bus stop, any type of thing that's related to, your downtown's transportation infrastructure. Some examples that you can think of would be, downtown Hollowell. That was a example of the large transformative VPI, downtown Sanford. And with this, it's 80-10-10. And so it becomes 80% of the funding comes from federal sources, 10% state, and then 10% local match. And this is a program that allows towns that have that historic downtown that wants to, bring back what's called a complete streets look, feel, and character. This is we're hoping that this will be I'm sorry, I'm using the word transformative too much. We're hoping this will be a very impactful program for many of our Maine's rural villages. And the idea is that, when you're driving through Maine, we want you to go to destinations. We want you to go from one town to another and stop and have something to do in that town, and to really bring back the rural New England aesthetic and character that many of our towns once had. The Municipal Partnership Initiative, this is where the town is going to locally administer the project, and it's mostly just focusing on the treatment of road surfaces and drainage improvements. And the idea is that this would help speed up much of the process to getting a road, whether something isn't going to get on the work plan or it's not a high priority road. This is to help municipalities get the project moving faster than it would through the normal channels. And this follows the same match structure based on valuation. Now, the Planning Partnership Initiative, this is another popular program, and where this program works is it helps municipalities address a planning or a feasibility and economic development, any type of study that needs to be done before you would go to a large transformative VPI. That's what this program is meant to do. And so what this program does is, this is where the town will partner with DOT, we'll get a consultant, and we will come in and work as technical assistance providers with the town and work with a consultant to help a town come up with their vision for what this project is going to be, what it could be, and that follows the same valuation. Sorry, I quoted it wrong. It's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. And even those numbers, at Maine DOT, we're exploring options and opportunities to rethink some of those match structures. The Business Partnership Initiative, this is really designed to help promote businesses, private endeavors, working with municipalities and Maine DOT. And the goal of this is to increase economic output in a part of a road or area that's on a state or state aid highway. And so an example of this would be, allowing increased pedestrian access to a business, improving, I don't want to say parking because I'm remiss to promote more parking in America, to either get people to the business easier, to address, turning movement type issues that might be hindering access to the business. There are some criteria. It does have to promote job creation, local economic development, and the match portion is, 1/3 for each partner. These are right now our big push in DOT. I'm hitting the pavement a lot, bringing this a larger version of this presentation to communities. But the idea is that through these programs and through the community-based initiatives, we will be able to really start focusing on the parts of the transportation infrastructure that often, get overlooked for other things. And we're trying to really promote a more than car-centric concept of transportation. So that's all that I have for now. I'm open for questions later. And I'm sure many of the town managers on here, I will be seeing you soon.
Thank you, Jared. Okay, and then one final one. The Governor's Office of Policy Innovation and the Future has released a program called the Community Resilience Partnership, which features multiple funding opportunities geared towards reducing carbon emissions and preparing communities for climate change impacts. And there are 2 grant rounds a year for the next 2 years, with the first round having just closed in March and the next round closing in September. Applicants are encouraged to use these funds to leverage other state or even federal funding sources, and communities are also encouraged to partner on projects. And for these situations, the state has raised the maximum funding amount from $50,000 for individuals to $100,000 for joint applications. And based on the project your community has in mind, there are 2 different options. Option 1 is a no match grant, which, as the name suggests, are funds that do not require any local match. And the only stipulation is that the application must include projects that support one or more of the state's climate priorities. The state has outlined 72 priorities that include a huge range of projects. For example, you could improve energy efficiency in municipal buildings. You could adopt a permitting process for small-scale renewable energy. You could create or update a watershed plan or install electric vehicle chargers in public spaces. There is a huge range and scale of projects on this list that everyone can take advantage of based on your community's needs. However, if the 72 priorities outlined by the state do not match your community's needs, you can still take advantage of the second option. And this grant does require a local match with a varying percentage based on the community's population or state tax assessment. And it supports community identified climate projects that are not on the state's priority list. And then in addition to the grant application, communities are also required to enroll in the state partnership. And both the enrollment and application processes are pretty straightforward. And the rural contract does cover any assistance that your community needs, whether that is with the enrollment process or with writing the application. All right, so we are at the end of our presentation. We are trying to make it quick for you guys. There are, of course, many other funding sources out there, and we would really encourage you to reach out if you have projects in mind so that we can explore programs that may be a good fit. Does anyone have any questions?
Maddie, it's Mark. Are you going to send these are you going to send the slides out? Did I hear that?
Yep, yeah, great question. So we will be posting this recording on our YouTube channel, and we can also have the presentation released as well. But also, as I keep reiterating, I'm not trying to shove it down your throat, but please reach out to us if you have questions or if you just want to chat. As I said, I'm new to the area, so I'm really looking forward to building some relationships with all these communities. But yes, also please share the recording with anybody that you think may be interested. We'll stop sharing. All right, yeah, Jared.
I just want to encourage all of the towns, especially the town managers who are on this, Zoom today. Really reach out to Maddie, to Sarah, to Paige, and engage with them for your transportation planning needs. Part of one of the big reasons why Maine DOT contracts with MPOs, RPOs to do a lot of this work is capacity issues. We have 3 planners for the entire state of Maine, and then we have Patrick Adams, who's the Bikeped planner. I cover, my geography is literally half of the state of Maine. I think in the past month, I've put 1,000 miles in travel. Next month, I'll be in Aroostook County on a whirlwind tour. I'm going to Washington County tomorrow. It's just, there's just so much territory and just places to go that it's impossible for us to be everywhere. And 2, these organizations do really good work, and we work with them in a very productive and I think beneficial manner. So it's really good. It's a great idea to reach out to Maddie, to reach out to Sarah, reach out to Paige, and have them be, sort of the liaison, the filter, and to initiate projects with these organizations. And for towns that are considering comprehensive plans, I really can't encourage you more to have your transportation chapter be done by an organization that does transportation planning. It's an area of expertise and sort of specialty that I think it goes a long way to have a transportation planner really getting into the data, getting into the details, and then bringing their professional opinion and expertise to the goals and objectives, the policies, the things that you want to get to for your community. So I really encourage everyone to reach out. And I just want to say that Maddie is from Iowa. She unfortunately went to the University of Iowa and not Iowa State. And so she and I will have like a slight rivalry because I'm an Iowa Stater, go Cyclones. But it's all in good fun. And I want to say this right now, I'm probably the worst. What's that game where you throw is that called cornholing? I did that like maybe like 6 months ago at a barbecue, and I was so bad at that. So I'm really failing as I'm not an Iowanian, but I'm
Not
Iowa
a true
adjacent.
Iowan, no.
That's all.
Thanks, Jared. If there's any more questions, we can take them now, or again, how many times have I said it in this presentation? Please, you can send me an email or you can give us a call. You can just introduce yourself. You can say, hi, I'm new to the area, so I don't have tons of friends. So I would love to meet any of you guys.
Well, thank you for participating, and this is just the first of hopefully many interactions that we'll have with you all. So we'll be in touch and reaching out to you as well. So thank you so much, and we'll be sending the recording and slideshow out for your review. Thank you.